welcome back to episode 10 of the podcast. So, if you've been sticking with us this long, we're glad you're here. Tell a friend. Have them come listen to us. Hear what we have to say. Now,
And tell your friend to tell that friend.
Exactly. As usual, I am Thomas. If you would like to talk with me anything Marvel, DC, comic related, you can find me on Twitter at tsteinman13. I'm joined by Chris.
Hello. Yes, you can catch me on Twitter as well. I'm at Bag1982.
And you can also find Zach.
I'm Zach Krieger, and actually, I finally got a Twitter, and I think my name is MCU Zach Crew. That's ZACHKRU. I think that's my name on there. If not, okay.
It is. It is.
I tried to memorize it, so.
Hey, you got it. All right, guys, but this is going to be a little bit of a different episode than probably what you're used to have seen because there was nothing released this week. So in anticipation,
Besides the,
aside from
besides the, yeah, which was great, but
it was, but we won't get too much into it because Chris still needs to see it.
Oh, it's just the assembled.
Yep, that was the only thing I think that was released this week. There's a few things of news. Avengers Endgame is no longer the highest grossing film of all time. Avatar has officially passed it again. Now that Disney has re-released the film in China.
Disney just making money.
Yep. Zoe Saldana's just winning. She's just in both movies, no matter what. She's just like, yeah, I have the highest grossing film of all time. I don't care. But yeah, this week we're going to be doing something a little different, and we're going to be looking at some of our MCU film rankings. And we did include WandaVision in this as well, so we aren't going to be going through all 24. We're going to go through our top 5 and our bottom 5, and then we'll have a discussion about that, and we'll kind of explain why we didn't go too much more in depth to our numbers, like from number like 19 to 6. But we probably will touch on that. But would either you guys like to start with your top 5 first? Or do you want to do top 5 first or bottom 5? Actually.
Yeah, I always love to start my bottom, bitch. So.
Bottom it is.
We can edit that out.
I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that in.
Okay, so bottom 5 for me are from lowest to highest would be Iron Man 2, Captain America, the first Avenger, 3, would probably have to be, as much as I love it, Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
4 would be Ant-Man. And then 5.
Just Ant-Man.
The first one.
The first one.
Okay.
And then, damn it. And then 5 would have to be the Incredible Hulk. Are we including that?
Yes.
In the first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Especially because Tim Roth is coming back as Abomination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Then, okay.
Oh, I don't think any of them are the same as mine. Sorry, Incredible Hulk. Whoa.
Yeah, do you want to do yours next, Chris?
Ant-Man's in there.
Yeah, that's a lot higher for me. I'll say that. I'll just say that.
Well, I mean, mine, I don't know, certainly my bottom 2 will probably not be much different to a lot of people's. Dark World is bottom for me at number 24. Then The Incredible Hulk Even though I watched that the other day, it's still a decent film actually. And that's maybe a caveat. Although these films are in my bottom 5, I still think they're good films. But
Yeah.
anyway, then I've got Iron Man 3. I've never been a lover of Iron Man 3. Then I've got Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But then I've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ant-Man and the Wasp could maybe go below Captain Marvel perhaps when I'm really looking at that. But yeah, they're my bottom 5.
No, I feel
I have a
bad.
rebuttal for you towards Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3. I can rebuttal that
Let's
towards
hear it.
you. But anyways, let's go.
All right, here. I'll do my bottom 5 quick. So, actually, just like Chris, my bottom one is Thor: The Dark World. I apologize to anyone who likes that movie. I will say it now. That is probably the most boring Marvel movie you will ever see. Just in preparation. It's fun. Cool stuff happens, like in all the movies. But it's pretty damn boring. Iron Man 2 is definitely next for me. I felt... I'll get into why. Incredible Hulk at 22. Captain America 1 at 21. And then I would have to actually say the first Thor movie at 20.
Oh, actually, seeing that, the first Thor film was number 19 for me actually. Yeah. So not too far away.
Well, actually, that's where Iron Man 3 is for me.
Right.
So I guess my bottom 6, like, those could change within themselves, but I could not rank them higher than that personally.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the ones I've got above there. I've got like Thor, Iron Man 2, and then Far From Home, just sort of above, going to number 17. They could possibly drop in there. Maybe not Far From Home, actually. I quite like that one. But yeah, I mean, easy for me, Dark World bottom.
Oh yeah.
I debated Incredible Hulk whether it was going to be a little bit higher, because like I say, I'd watched that not so long ago, and it is a decent film. I don't know whether or not it struggles because of its age now, and the special effects just aren't good.
Oh
When you
man.
look at the Hulk and the Abomination, if they did now, the special effects would be just 100 times better. And would that change my view? I don't know. But yeah, that's Dark World, Incredible Hulk is, and I get the feeling for a lot of people, them two would be near the bottom. I always get that impression from people.
Yeah. And for me, the big reason I have Incredible Hulk so low is strictly just because of the recast. Had Ed Norton actually stayed on as the Hulk and we didn't get Mark Ruffalo, I guarantee you this would be a lot higher for myself personally, because it'd be the same person. You've seen literally almost all of these characters now grow and evolve. Thunderbolt Ross, now Abomination's coming back. I won't be surprised if the guy who was kind of teased to be the leader ends up coming back. So
yeah.
It like you said, like it's not a bad film at all, but like it didn't age that well, and it's just a completely different person playing the Hulk in every other movie.
Yeah. What I thought was pretty cool and something I'd never picked on before in Incredible Hulk. Maybe I was reading too much into it. But if you forget about the actors who played him, it goes from Incredible Hulk to next time we see him is in the first Avengers, and his ultimate trick apparently in that film is that he's always angry. Is that right? Is that the word? I think that's and he turns into Hulk. At the very end of the Incredible Hulk, he's sat meditating, and his sort of pulse monitor is going up and up and up and up, and then he just lifts his head and his eyes go green. But he smiles, he smirks, and I never sort of noticed that before. But I'm just wondering if that was a direct link to Avengers, and they sort of knew where they were going with that. He's now in control of being able to release the Hulk, which is obviously what we see in the final battle scene anyway of
I think
Avengers.
he is in control. It's just the matter of him turning back
Yeah,
is that he doesn't have control of.
Yeah, I think that's
So
like
I
the
think
huge
there
thing
is
with
I
it,
think
too.
there is a link there. Yes.
yeah.
Well, because there's another mention in the Avengers movie too. I think it's a deleted scene from the Incredible Hulk, but also kind of just trigger warning for some people just about this deleted scene. It was cut for a reason. It's about Bruce Banner's one suicide attempt. He takes a gun in the Arctic, puts it in his mouth, the Hulk spits it out. And like he says that, but like there's a deleted scene of like Edward Norton grabbing the gun, eyes go
Ooh.
black, opens it up, gun's crushed in a one giant green hand, and he spits the bullet into the other.
Oh, I didn't know they actually did that.
Oh, it's
All right.
cool. I'll say that. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I can probably understand why they cut it, but
oh yeah.
well, can I? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
At
Okay.
the
Yeah.
time,
I
I
mean,
can understand why they cut
yeah. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it does. It does. It's a good scene when he's explaining it. In Avengers, I quite like that. But oh yeah, I never knew that was the deleted scene. That's cool. I like that.
And then Zach, I have a question for you. What's with the Ant-Man hate?
Yeah.
It's more of a personal thing.
Okay. Is it a Paul Rudd thing? Because I've heard a few people rank it low just because they don't really like Paul Rudd.
No, and that's the thing. I love Paul Rudd. I love him, but I just didn't think it would be a good role for him until I saw it.
Yeah.
But
Actually, I completely agree with that.
like I didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of the first Ant-Man. Now Ant-Man and Wasp, totally different story. That's closer to my top 10.
Okay.
But the first movie, kind of boring to me. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I can get that too, because my one friend, shout out Train again, I've been shouting you out like every week for rewatching those. We finished them. Sucks that Iron Man died.
Yay.
But anyways. No, it was worse when Loki and Quicksilver died.
Oh.
But
Not take it well.
Quicksilver definitely
wait.
not, because he's still not over that like that was a fake Quicksilver in WandaVision. It's like,
But wait, is Loki dead though?
he knows main Loki's dead because we've seen the Loki trailer now. But
Right. So, but different timeline. Loki's gonna be alive,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, I think they're gonna do something weird. I'll get into that too. I wanted to kind of talk a bit more about the rankings, though.
Right. We're gonna go off board like we usually do.
Oh,
So,
yeah, of course. Probably even more than usual now, because we don't have like a set point to go back to. It's like, remember that one scene?
we're
that
literally talking about all the movies. We can go off board anywhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got off into politics earlier. We're gonna go somewhere else.
I mean, for anyone who's watching, you guys will not get that part. That was literally just me and Zach talking while we were getting ready for this. But just going back to the Loki thing. I wonder if they're gonna do the thing that they do in the comics where Loki gets reincarnated. I wonder if they're gonna do it in a bit of a different way, where they'll dimension pull, or like I guess universe pull, kind of yank him out of there, and then if he gets placed in this new continuity, then there doesn't need to be not a resurrection, What's when you die and get reborn? Rebirth. That's it.
Reincarnated.
Reincarnation. Yes.
Reincarnators, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna try to steer away from that, even though that's kind of how they should take it. Because the story of the gods, if they die, they're born again, just younger.
Do, do you think we'll see him in Love and Thunder then?
Yes, 100%. I'm dead set that
No,
we're gonna
I
see
definitely
Loki
agree
on
with
Love
that
and
too.
Thunder. And only because originally it wasn't supposed to release until after or before Multiverse of Madness. Now it's switched, and it comes out after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have a feeling.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder though, like, do they have a set, like, what they're going through? Or like that they can just change this around whenever, that there's really no set timeline.
See,
You know what I mean?
yeah. See, what's the politest way of putting this? I entered into a discussion with someone on Facebook about this because someone had a massive rant on one of these forums about um, kicking off that one division wasn't linking into other things, and it was sort of like, and the more I thought about this, it's like this the first time round. We had Iron Man. I can't even remember if there was a end credit scene in
Nick
Iron
Fury
Man. Was there?
Avengers initiative.
Right. So there was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is sort of what we got with One Division.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then Incredible Hulk is a really random one because it's a credit scene. Yeah, we actually have Tony Stark coming in to speak to General to Ross, basically saying we're starting up the Avengers, although he didn't say that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going a bit off the point there. But my point was to this person was that everything can't be sort of just dumped on us at One Division. The last saga was over 10
Sorry.
plus years.
Yeah.
It was over 10 plus years. It was over 22, 23 films. It started off slow. If Marvel are going to do another saga, which we assume they are, but they might not, it's just going to build up slow again. And, we are just going to get little hints like Wanda or Scarlet Witch doing the action thing and, little things like that. So to try and answer your question, Zach, about is there a timeline or a sequence of things to happen? I don't know if there is. I think they're just going to have films. There'll probably be key films sort of placed, but it'll just be little things happening in them films. I think, which is like what happened in the last saga. And it was mainly end credit scenes where it'd be prompting something later on. You had the Infinity Stones scattered through. So I suppose that was that thing. But other than that, everything was just end credit scenes, and maybe that's all we're going to get. So we're thinking One Division's going to directly link into Doctor Strange and Spidey 3, but maybe it's not. Maybe we're just going to see little bits, perhaps. I don't know. Obviously, the characters are going to be weaving in and out, which will be bizarre because there's going to have to be some sort of continuity in terms of time frames, perhaps. I don't know, but
I wonder if they're just gonna, at least with WandaVision for the multiverse, I think they're gonna do like the events of that cause or lead up, and like it doesn't really directly tie in, but like where she is at the end of the series, like you said, that post credit scene is where you're like, oh yeah, that's where it happens.
Yeah, because nothing really other than probably a lot of people. Was it 1,000 people being affected by Wanda? They'll be a bit fucked up, I suppose. But it wasn't it wasn't like a worldwide or global scale event type of thing. There's just 1,000 people in rehab or whatever. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
But your bar's like 1,000 people being fucked up by Wanda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially though, like
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
I before we get back to the movie rankings, I do have a quick question for you.
That's what we were doing. Okay,
Yes.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Do you think there will be repercussions for Wanda down the line?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
But
Should
how bad is it going to be for her?
I was about to say that. Like, will it be repercussions from the government, or will I can't even
I
call
was
them the
I,
Avengers, the remaining
I
heroes
was
that'll
gonna
be down
say
there?
like I was gonna say the whole Doctor Strange part because she's obviously more powerful.
That too.
Well, that can correlate with what you were gonna say. Like, what can they really do?
Yeah. Also, I have a
I mean,
question for Kevin Feige. Like, I thought Captain Marvel was the most powerful. Like, what's with this shit? You're just throwing new characters at us and telling them that they're the most powerful every movie now? Come on, man. Mind you, Scarlet Witch should have been OP from the beginning. I'll say that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that was also before. What didn't he say that before the whole deal with Fox?
I think he said. I don't know if it was before the deal with Fox, but it was definitely before WandaVision was announced.
Okay.
So,
Um, yeah. See,
Hey,
wasn't
but
wasn't
what a way for him to throw us off, you know?
yeah, yeah. Wasn't the whole Accords effectively because of because of Wanda though?
Oh yeah,
Like
yes,
it was. I
definitely.
think it was her event of her blowing up that building that sort of finally triggered it all. I mean, it was probably going on in the in the background, but she was the main
That
one.
initiated it, but it wasn't
Yeah,
just her. It was also
it was
the
all of them.
effects and like everything that happened after Age of
Yeah,
Ultron.
yeah.
and speaking of that, think back to Age of Ultron. Who put the vision of seeing the Avengers dead that caused him to build Ultron?
Wanda. Yep.
Wanda.
Looks like someone's
Mm.
at fault for a few things here.
Actually, wait, let me rephrase that. Mind Stone. But you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
that I think it's both. Both played a factor in Tony seeing that.
yeah.
I don't know though.
Damn. That could go two different ways, you know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could go towards Wanda and it could go towards Vision.
I'm going with Mind Stone.
Or three ways. Ultron, but
No, see, I'm going Mind Stone in terms of that leads to everything going to where Tony ended up in Endgame. That's how I say that.
Mm-hmm.
The Mind Stone
oh
was
no,
playing its part to all the Infinity Stones to get Tony to where he needed to be.
Actually,
That's
I
what
no,
completely agree
definitely.
with that. I honestly think that's gonna end up getting explained down the line. Maybe not in the
what the
first
Infinity.
Eternal movie. Yeah, that like the stones actually do have
Yeah.
like we've been hinted that they're kind of sentient. Like Red Skull
And you
wasn't
know
really
what?
teleported away,
You
but
know what? You can go further back than that. You can go back to the first Avengers. Because remember when Tony and Banner were trying to track the scepter? Sorry, not the
the
scepter, because they
Tesseract.
had it. The Tesseract. And then the words Tony said to Banner was, "You're gonna find out what you're meant for. Am I gonna like it? No, but we are," or something like that. And
Hmm.
obviously, Banner ends up being the one to snap his fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
All connected.
I did not
All
pick up on
connected.
that. Mind you,
Oh.
the
Really?
Avengers movie is actually one of the few movies that I missed in the rewatch because I was working. So I didn't actually get to see the first team up movie. Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot in that first like
Yeah.
45
I'm
minutes.
gonna have to rewatch it probably. Maybe not after this, but maybe tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
know that.
guys.
That's a good film. That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring it back on track a little bit here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can, if you guys would like, talk about your top five, and then after that, we can talk about where WandaVision was placed for each of us. And with that, because both tie in, Chris, I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, yeah. Well, my top five is, well, number one, Winter Soldier, all day long. Don't even need to think about that. When Endgame came out, it was close to knocking it off, but I don't know. Just really like Winter Soldier. So then I have Endgame, then Ragnarok, and then the first Guardians, and then I've put WandaVision as number five. I'll be honest, that WandaVision, I could have quite easily put that higher, and I restrained myself because I thought I've just seen it. It's fresh in my mind. That's maybe why I want to put it higher. So I've put it at number five. So there we go.
All right, Zach, you want to go through yours?
Yep. My first three stay the same. Endgame, Infinity War, then Winter Soldier. But since I forgot about this earlier when we were talking about it, Ragnarok, and then Civil War.
All right. And then mine takes a bit from everyone's list. So my top two are essentially the same as Chris's, but flipped. So I do have Endgame at number one, specifically because, again, I did do a rewatch quite recently, and being able to see all that again and to pick. I mean, clearly I didn't pick up on everything because there's the few things in the Avengers that I missed, but like still, like even like just to see that all again, like I really enjoy that, and like being such a huge fan of it, I feel like that movie was literally made for us, but like I it hit a bit closer to home for me. Winter Soldier, easy number two. No questions asked. That is the best standalone movie that they have.
Yeah.
Like easily. Third is Iron Man. I cannot this was the first Marvel movie I saw, and I did see Iron Man 1 in theaters. So, like, this will always have a special place in my heart. So, that one definitely could change, but that's just, like, a personal thing for me. Iron Man 1 stays high. Infinity War and Civil War cop out my top five.
So, I mean, I've got WandaVision in my top five. Where have you guys got your WandaVisions?
WandaVision for me is actually ninth. And it would be after Thor Ragnarok, not the first two, Guardians 1 and the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I
you, Zach? Oh, sorry.
No, Zach, you're good to go.
I didn't write anything down, but I think they would have to be right after my top 10.
Right.
Like 11th, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I have the first Avengers, Doctor Strange, Homecoming, after that, like after my top five.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved WandaVision, don't get me wrong, but in order of all the Marvel movies, WandaVision wouldn't be anything without those. If that makes sense.
No,
You know.
I get that.
You know, as great as WandaVision was, I feel like it's something we should have gotten years ago.
I mean, yes.
I'm glad we got it now. I'm glad we got it now, but
yeah. I mean, to be honest, you can kind of tell Marvel's now giving the push to the female characters because they literally weren't able to, because the boss before was like, yeah, if you are a person of color or a female character in the Marvel universe, you will not be in the movies. Or if you are, not a prominent role.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say though, Chris? I literally just cut you off.
I was just thinking that I think they had tried TV stuff, hadn't they? You know what I mean? There's Agents of Shield, big fan of Agents of Shield, but it just feels that with the emergence of Disney Plus, that they've really just gone for it, and certainly with WandaVision, they've gone for it, and I get the feeling with the other shows that are coming out. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was coming out obviously next week. The other ones after that, they're concentrating on the big characters. Sorry, the big character. They're not the main characters in the films, but they're the secondary big characters. If that makes any sort of sense.
No, yeah.
You got Agents of Shield, which the cadged Phil Coulson, who was brilliant. You know what I mean? But he was. You wouldn't say he was a big character in the. I might be disagreeing with myself here because he was a big character, but he was nowhere in the same league as. Well, he wasn't an Avenger for a start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got Wanda and Vision, who are Avengers. You've got Falcon, who's an Avenger. You've got Hawkeye. We're going to get his. You've got Avengers now who've got their own TV shows. And I don't know. I just think they're really focusing on the TV stuff now, which they didn't do in the past. It was just we'll get a show out and see how it works type of thing. But now that they're putting everything into it, the fact that it's connecting with the films as well, I think that's just showing how much they're putting into it.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how well this is done. I've never really sort of looked in how well WandaVision is done in terms of people watching it and stuff like that. Because people like us who are big fans, we're going to watch it. And I've rewatched it with my wife, who has never watched any of the films. Wasn't really interested, not really interested in sort of MCU stuff. But she enjoyed it, and now she's on about watching Falcon the Winter Soldier with us next week. So she's got into it, whereas I would never have been able to get her into a cinema to watch a film. So I'm hoping it's picking up. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, just trying to pick up on people like my wife and people who aren't necessarily keen to go into a cinema to watch it. This might get them there, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, same thing with this show. Like, I've had a lot of people too even people who kind of be like, "Oh yeah, you're the guy who's into the movies," and I'm like, "Yep." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, that WandaVision show is pretty cool." Like, going on about that, I'm like, "Oh, you actually watched this? I thought you were like against this kind of thing. I thought it broke your idea of cinema, Martin Scorsese." But yeah. Yeah, if I doubt any of those people are watching this, but if they are, you definitely know who you are.
What, Martin's watching us, is he?
Oh yeah, well, Marty is, of course. He's a close personal friend of mine and James Gunn. But
Hey, you're forgetting somebody, all right? I'm a friend of his too, all right?
No. Damn, I went off. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, WandaVision. People like coming up and saying like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this." Like, it's just something I never really would have thought. Like, even if they're gonna bring in, well, I can't even say the more like known heroes because they're already in. But like, someone like Jane Foster's Thor, that's gonna be a movie. That's such a bad example. Kate Bishop Hawkeye, like that. That'll be the start for the majority of the movie people to that character. And also, again, like what you're saying, it's on Disney Plus. It hits that market, and like essentially, it's new, but it's not. I feel like a lot of people are gonna think it might end up being a reboot. That they think this all is just kind of a reboot because a lot of the titles are the same as previous characters, but we know that that same character will not be that title by the end of the film or show. Hawkeye especially because he's been Ronin.
Yeah.
But right. No, I had a coworker, obviously over 2 years ago now, asking me if they wanted to go see Endgame. They came up to me like, "Hey, am I gonna enjoy this movie?" I was like, "Well, have you seen the 19 movies that followed?" What? Yeah, no, you need to see the movies that follow to understand it. Well, then I'm not gonna go watch it. yeah, no, you're not gonna understand it. Like,
Yeah.
I would love for you to go see it, but if you
Yeah.
don't know what's going on, don't see it. You
And
know.
and then like if you do see it and think, oh, I don't want to watch it, but then 6 months down the line you're like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this. Then you have like literally the biggest thing in the whole thing spoiled for you.
Right,
Which,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. You know, like no,
Yeah.
if you're gonna watch it, start from the beginning.
mm-hmm.
Like, and
Yeah,
especially now with Disney Plus, you can watch everything in like a week and a half, you know.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, wait, what did we come up with? 2 weeks? 2 weeks for 3,000 minutes, right?
Oh, I'll have to check my calendar again, but it's around there. Yeah.
I, I remember. I think it was at the time. I don't know if it was just before Endgame or just after. Listening to a podcast, and they had a very similar conversation about you can't just go into Endgame without seeing other like the rest of the films. But that got into the conversation about well, actually, what films if you were just to pick some, if you because you don't have to probably watch every film, which ones would you have to watch? And I don't know. There's still probably quite a few you'd have to watch
Mm-hmm.
to understand what's going on in Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you'd have to say Infinity War, otherwise, just pointless.
And see, and
Um,
that's why I didn't throw Dark World on my bottom five, was because that's one of those films you need to watch for
yeah,
Endgame for it to make
but it's
sense.
But
That's why I
Ant-Man
didn't
with the
throw it on my
quantum
bottom five.
Ant-Man in the Quantum Realm. Tell me that, Zach. Boom, you looking for this? Sorry.
Ant-Man and Wasp, then.
yeah,
Then
Ant-Man
watch
and Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp. I mean,
Yeah, actually, that's the one that goes into a lot more of the quantum realm.
so,
I guess that would
I
be
mean,
the essential one, technically. Yeah.
yeah, that's why that's, yeah.
And because, oh yeah, yeah, it totally would be.
I think it's worth saying though that certainly for
I
me,
have reasons why I chose my movies, all right?
Yeah.
I think I think it's worth saying though that these even though I've got Dark World bottom, I still think it's a decent film.
Yeah.
It's not that I think it's a bad film. It's just the worst of the MCU, which is still a pretty high bar in terms
Oh yeah.
of generally what is a good film. I'd watch
Correct.
Dark World over a hell of a lot of other films that are out there.
Suicide Squad for sure.
Yes,
For sure.
yes.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but the director of Dark World, wasn't that the dude that played Count Dooku in the Star Wars films?
What,
Wasn't
Christopher Walken? Count Dooku was it? Oh no,
no. Who
wasn't
was?
that?
No,
Was
no,
it Dooku?
no, 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 no. It was not Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was Dooku though. Is
Christopher
that right or
Lee.
not? Christopher Lee. Sorry.
Christopher Lee.
Mm-hmm. Let me check. Actually, I'm curious about that. Oh, he passed away in
Right,
2015.
but I
Oh no, I
swear to
just didn't
God,
know that. Let me see filmog.
but I swear he had some involvement with Dark World.
Sorry, all his film stuff's like from. Oh, there we go. Back to the 2000s. Um,
So,
I do not see any Thor stuff for him. I know Patty
Okay.
Jenkins was supposed to direct Thor 2 originally, and then she didn't, or maybe she did. No, it was Alan Taylor. No, yeah. So I think Patty Jenkins was
Alan
supposed to
Taylor.
direct it, and then Natalie Portman and I feel like a bunch of the cast were like pretty pissed off. They kind of were like, no, because again, it was the guy who was in charge before Feige, kind of like, I don't want a woman directing a movie. Yeah, I'm really glad that guy's gone.
Yeah, when did Feige go?
Right.
Oh, he officially got
12?
only. Nope. Like 17.
Oh, okay.
17.
or 16. It was one of the two. No, 15 or 16, I think then, because he really had to push for Iron Man to be in Civil War. Because the guy didn't want to pay Downey for the contract. He wanted like half the people that were originally going to be in it. Black Panther wasn't going to be in it. Scarlet Witch wasn't going to be in it. Who else wasn't going to be in it? Spider-Man definitely not. He didn't even want to deal with
Oh,
Sony.
yeah.
Like it was basically just going to be like Cap, Bucky, and Falcon versus like Vision maybe and Rhodey.
Right.
Like
See that? Yeah. I mean, I mean, I've got Civil War pretty low down in my list. I say low down, it's number 11. But and I know it's pretty high up on your guys, but that's that's just because I don't think it's a Captain America film. But that being said, I think if it had gone that way and didn't have all them characters in, it would have been a lesser film. It's a good film because it has purely because you needed Tony in
yeah.
just to have that whole argument. That's what kicks off the Civil War, doesn't it? It's Team Cap or Team Tony. So I think you had to have that, and yeah, having wondering. I mean, looking back at obviously just a few. Literally only watched about 10-15 minutes of the One Division assembled, but they're obviously picking up on sort of Wanda's sort of progression to where she's ended up, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with Wanda because wasn't necessarily, and again, same with Vision, and I probably spoke about this on the previous podcast. Something which I wasn't bothered about seeing them again really, but now definitely want to see what happens with them. So it'll be interesting.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know if I'm the only one out of us, but I mean, I had a feeling they might bring Vision back because he immediately went to his comic book color, like how he is after he gets resurrected. Then, I had a feeling that if they weren't gonna bring him back, they're just gonna kill him there, and they weren't gonna touch on it again. And it wasn't until WandaVision got announced, I was like, oh, he might be back.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
worried for a while there. That I was like, did they just kill Paul Bettany? Like, at least can we just have him as Jarvis, please? I think I like Paul. I mean, I love Paul Bettany as Vision, but like, I just love his quotes. Just all his interviews are so funny, especially all the ones from like the past like 5 years since he's been like a huge star now. I love that. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
more huge than he was before, I guess.
Right.
Ooh. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else you wanted to maybe touch on this week? Because I guess I'm done with my rankings. I don't think I have too much I wanted to talk about with mine specifically.
Yeah,
No.
don't go watch that bullshit trailer for Venom Carnage. It's a fake trailer.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's a fake trailer that's been going around for like the last 3 days. Don't watch it.
Oh, I actually have one
Same.
thing that I just found out today. Marvel's rebooting the Inhumans, 100%.
Really?
Full
Oh.
reboot. And
Do I need to watch? Do I need to watch the Inhumans now or not? Because I haven't yet.
now
So I
here's
just
the
not.
part that's gonna get odd. Sorry, I didn't mean exactly reboot. I meant they're gonna be completely recast. That show is technically still gonna be canon. That's just gonna be like they were doing some stuff at that point. Not like hard canon. It'll be more like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon, kind of. At least the first few seasons. It'll be more like that. Because since like it bombed, they were like, this is not connected to anything. Like anything. But now they're kind of like, like it's connected. It's close. And personally, I'm just glad because you can't really do Miss Marvel's story without explaining that she is an Inhuman. And they are going to do that, which makes me happy.
Yeah. So is that going to be TV?
Yes, I think that's actually one of the ones for the end of this year. November,
Okay, cool.
December release, I think. Oh,
Right.
actually, I have to check that again.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So
But
is it worth me watching Inhumans then?
oh, that's a bad show. That's a bad show. I'll send you a video of someone honestly look up a YouTube video of like comics explained or variant comics explaining the Inhumans, because they will do a much better job than that show did.
Right, okay.
Honestly, even Agents of Shield did like a better Inhumans arc than the Inhumans show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it did kind of lead into the show, but like I don't know.
I mean, I've watched the Agents of Shield. Have I got the knowledge I need for Inhumans
Oh yeah,
in terms of sort of
almost
backstory?
definitely. Like
All right, okay, I'll
Black
wait to hear
Bolt,
that.
he has to pretty much not talk because he is the most powerful voice in the world. If he talks, he could just destroy the world.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably the big one because I've heard some stuff about them teasing the Illuminati, and Black Bolt is a huge part of the Illuminati in the comics.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, that will be interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we'll leave you guys off with that. Just a little tidbit there.
Well, I just want to have a quick, just see what you guys thought about next week. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Are we
Right.
excited? I've seen that it's going to be. I think the first episode is going to be 50 odd minutes long, which sort of plays into what Feige said that it was just going to be sort of 6 hours, just a 6 hour film basically. Which sounds pretty cool. But I've been quite excited with the trailers that we've seen.
Mm-hmm. As have I. Honestly, I feel like
Mm.
we're getting teases for some big stuff that I guarantee will not be paid off anytime soon. But we will get huge teases because they're going to Madripoor. And you know who lives in Madripoor? A whole fucking lot of mutants. A whole lot of them. So, we should be, and one of you guys actually pointed this out to me. The scroll wall, like that head of scrolls on the wall behind in one of the trailer shots. Oh no!
Yeah, it was Zach, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What does that mean?
I swear it was. You're
Fuck.
like, yeah. Maybe it was, and maybe I saw it in a video. Honestly, I don't know. I'll give you guys credit, but yeah, like
No, she was Zach. She was Zach.
yeah, because I feel like we definitely talked about that for at least a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Head of
Yeah, 'cause
Scrolls,
yeah.
Madripoor, good stuff to come.
I get the feeling that we're just gonna get like what we've done with One Division, just loads of little hints like the aerospace engineer, little things like that. I mean, Evan Peters was just a massive sort of look what we've got here.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. We're not doing that.
What if
It's
Hugh
just
Jackman just walks in? It's just like, oh look, it's Hugh Janus, and they just call him that instead.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Thunderbolts.
Oh, I definitely think we're getting Thunderbolts.
And the only reason I think that is because we were supposed to get Black Widow over a year ago.
And Black Widow.
And from what I've heard, is that their post-credit scene goes into Ross, turning into Red Hulk, and
that was one of the leaks. And
don't exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like in Winter Soldier or Falcon and Soldier, we're gonna get that. We're gonna be kind of thrown out of the timeline.
I don't know, because they also it's hard to say, because Falcon and the Winter Soldier actually did have a decent amount of work done during COVID.
True.
There is a chance they could have reworked stuff. But I'm 100% on board with the Thunderbolt stuff. I really want the Red Hulk too. So I hope, but I don't know if this is the show to bring him in for. At least not
Is
first.
Ross,
Right.
is Ross going to be in it? Is he?
It hasn't been confirmed yet. It's been rumored that he could make an appearance, but I think the only one that was actually kind of rumored and then got like 100% confirmed was Don Cheadle. War Machine will be in the show.
Right.
Other than that, no big cameos that I've heard of.
Yeah, because surely one of the big. I mean, it doesn't seem to be prominent in the trailers, which I don't think it should be. But surely Winter Soldier is still. He's there's still. He was his name cleared? Winter Soldier. I can't remember what happened at the end of Was it Civil War? Obviously,
Yeah, it was.
Infinity War and Endgame happened, but in a bit of a bubble. In terms of he was in Wakanda, and then he got blipped, and then he just came back. But I can't remember what happened at the end of Civil War, whether or not his name was cleared
I
or
don't
not.
think it is. I think Tony
No.
knows that like the true story, and then he finds that stuff out, and then like he kind of leaves Cap and Bucky, and like I don't think he goes back because after that Cap's a fugitive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because Cap at the end of Civil War had to break out. Well, he'd gone to the what's the prison called again? I forget what it's called now.
The Raft. Yes.
The raft. Yeah. That was one of the final scenes that you just see him in the raft, about to break everyone out.
Mm-hmm.
But then something must turn. Then, sorry, my head's just rolling now. But obviously, you've got Hawkeye and Ant-Man who must have made a deal because they go into house arrest, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because like maybe we'll get to see they had like camera footage of the thing and like he's coming by and like both of them are just like, nah, we have families, and Ross is like, use that.
Yeah.
But I am really excited for the show. I will say that.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
But
I'll be waking up.
Sorry, Zach.
I'll be waking up at 3 a.m. to watch it.
That's what I was thinking about for this week. I was like, as of right now, I do work Friday at 8:30 a.m. So do I go to bed at 5 the night before, wake up at 3, and just maybe stay up?
Right?
I could. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to add, though?
No, I'm good, I think.
No.
All right. Well, then that will bring us to the end of the podcast. A little shorter one than we're used to. Not getting up to the 2-hour range today. But, we'll probably be back with that next week.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, we definitely will be.
Oh, yeah.
We have an hour-long episode next week. We're going to be like 3 hours next week.
Yep. We're just going to start live streaming it.
Hey, I'd be cool with that.
I mean, we'll talk about that separately.
Yeah.
But for now, this has been the podcast. Thank you again, guys. We will see you next week.
See you later.